Right, you're back and I'm back, and as you saw in the previous video, my last race didn't go particularly well, and my post-race analysis when the camera was shoved in my face was very honest and open, and definitely how I felt at that point. Not particularly positive, I wouldn't say particularly motivational to anyone who saw it, and something I've needed to reflect on. I now have my next race, which is the Arundel Triathlon, so my first actual triathlon of the year, where I actually get to test my bike legs as well. And it has taken me a couple of weeks to reflect on that, I guess you could say, poor performance and poor performance after the race in terms of my, I guess, attitude towards it. And I'm hoping what will come from this is that you'll see that I'm being real and honest, but you'll also see that I've managed to pick myself back up, start training hard again, and I've gone for it in this race, and hopefully we will have a positive outcome. However, just to kind of set the, I guess, the picture out for you all, I've got a few figures and stats of things that have been happening recently, and it's safe to say in the last 2 to 3 months the performances when I've come to racing have not been where I've wanted them to be, and they have been quite disappointing. I guess the good thing with this is I'm still going, so it shows that, you know, you can overcome these disappointments, pick yourself up and go again. So last few months, been training hard, like I say, 15, 16 hours a week, and then we did a series of tests. So we tested where my cycling was at, where my swim was at, and where my run was at. So we did a 5K test. You may have seen these videos. I did a couple of park runs, an 18:45 and an 18:26, slight improvement, but didn't get anywhere near my PB of 18:04, disappointing. I then did a 10K that always goes wrong for me. It's very bizarre, I don't know why. A 59:43, my PB is 58:43, so a good minute difference. And in actual fact, all truth be told, the only reason I got under 60 is I could see someone I knew catching me. We have a friendly rivalry on the track, and I couldn't get beaten by him. And I just got under 40 purely out of sheer dogged, not going to lose to my mate Phil. We then did the CSS swim, which was the most disappointing. And the CSS swim, you do a timed 400 and a timed 200, and then a clever calculation. And it gives you your average pace for 1500 meters, or roughly what you should hold for each 100. Mine came out at 1:33. Anyone who knows me knows that's not great. And last year, I would have said, I think it was 1:26, 1:27. And the target for this year was to 1:25 and under. So that was particularly disappointing. And then the bike, we did the FTP test, and my FTP went down by 10. FTP is not everything. It depends who you speak to. But still, it was 275. It's now gone down to 265. And when you consider I'm training 6.5 hours on the bike a week, whereas last year I was doing 3.5, that was also a bit disappointing. So you've got my fitness tests haven't gone well, my races haven't gone well, and here we are, my first triathlon. So, and also I'm not very good at predicting what I'm going to do or being realistic. So let's look at 2024. So in 2024, I did this race. I came 8th overall, 3rd in my age. I did a 1:54.34. I did a 12:41 swim, although that does include transition time, a 1:05 bike, and a 36-minute run. I should point out that the distances are slightly different in this race. So the swim is 7:50, the bike is 35 minutes, and the run is 8.4 kilometers. However, bike and run are seriously hilly, with the bike elevation total of 1,446 feet. So this year, so my coach put in my training peaks, and he set this race as more of a training race. So we haven't really tapered going into it. The actual main A race is in a couple of weeks in Eastbourne, which is also hilly. So this is a good test for me. And he has he has suggested an 11:30 in the swim, a 56 on the bike, which would be like 9 minutes quicker, and a 34-minute run, giving me a total, if you add, say, 3 minutes for transition, of 1:44.30. Based on last year's times, that would mean going from 8th to 1st. However, I had also done my own sort of predictions before I saw my coaches, and they were same on the swim, 11:30, a 1:01 on the bike, so 5 minutes slower than he suggested, and a 34:30 on the run. So similar to what he was saying, giving me with a 3-minute transition allowance of 1:50, which would make me fourth overall, which would be a step up from eighth, and first in my age group. Now, these positions are caveated by who turns up on the day, because, for example, in 2023, the winner was a good 4 minutes quicker than last year's winner. So it does depend. But put it this way, if I do what my coach is suggesting, which is a 1:44:30, pretty much guaranteed to be on the podium, which would be an amazing result. And if I do my time and no absolute bandits turn up, which can happen, I could also make it on the podium. So what are my predictions? I think we should go podium. Yeah, I think we should go podium. I think anything near an hour on the bike would be fantastic. And then anything near 34:30 on the run would be good. I think my swim is going to be about the same. I think I've gone backwards a little bit maybe, but I've certainly not gone back so far that it's going to be massively worse. And typically my swim in the local races, at least, is close enough to be in contention. So yeah, and then on top of that, I've kind of made a decision on what I'm going to wear, and I'm going to basically do something that I don't normally like to do, or kind of annoys me when other people do it, which is when they wear their GB kit in a non-GB race. It's one of those things that's always bugged me, and I kind of don't like doing it, but there are two reasons why I am going to do it. So this is what I'll be wearing on race day. It will be my sorry, not that one. This one. My GBR tri-suit from the European Championships. I'll also be wearing this at the World Championships. And there's, like I said, two reasons I'm going to wear it. Number one, truth be told, my current tri-suit is absolutely wrecked. I can't really afford a new one. So if I want a tri-suit that's not going to drag me backwards in the swim, I do actually need to wear this one. But the other reason is I want to put a bit of pressure on myself. You know, people are going to look at it. People are going to see me wearing it. There will be some people who think like me, who are like, oh yeah, he thinks he's all that. He's got his GB kit on. And I kind of want to take that energy and foster it into some pure competitive aggression, and in a way prove to myself and prove to those other people that I'm racing that I'm wearing it for a reason, because actually I'm not completely rubbish at triathlon. So yeah, so there we go, Arundel Triathlon. That was a super long video. I hope you found it interesting. I will post the result once I've kind of recovered, and I'll do my usual immediate post-race thoughts, and then probably like a montage of clips with some banging house tune that I used to play when I was a DJ. There you go, that's me, Johnny Castle, What If Channel, and yeah, speak to you soon.